Well, hi there. I'm Michael Hausum of the Hausum Group at Vista Pacific Realty, and this is the Orange County Real Estate Marketplace Update for the week ending May 24th. So, 2 weeks ago, stood up here and I said that maybe we had reached the peak demand for the year, and demand being the number of homes that have been put in escrow in the previous 30 days. Well, here we are 2 weeks later, and let's see what's happened. This week, demand is almost unchanged at 2,655 sales. 2 weeks ago, it was down 3% at 2,653 sales, only 2 sales less than this week. 4 weeks ago, it was up 11% from the 2 weeks previous at 2,272 sales. So it looks like we've reached the peak. But what hasn't stopped increasing are the inventory levels. In fact, right now, inventory levels just hit in the last 2 weeks a higher point than they ever hit last year. This graph shows inventory of the last 3 years. Blue is 2016, purple is 2017, green is 2018, and gold is year to date. In the last 2 weeks, inventory is up 3%. Note that although the year-to-date inventory is higher than the last 3 years for this time of year, the question is now when the peak will hit. So historically, the peak usually hits around July or August. The previous graph showed the numbers going up and then down in the mid-year. Last year, however, the inventory levels just kept going up and up and up till the end of the year. Let's talk about expected time on market. This week across the county, expected time on market is 84 days, a slight seller's market. 2 weeks ago, it was slightly less at 81 days. 4 weeks ago, it was slightly less than that at 76 days. A year ago, it was at 63 days, a slightly stronger seller's market. Of course, those numbers indicating that it's still a slight seller's market across the county takes into account every single home and every single price range. And as we know, price has a lot to do with marketplace demand. So let's look at a few different price ranges. Under $1 million represents 57% of the inventory in the county and 78% of the demand. Expected market time under $1 million is just over 60 days, a definite seller's market. And that's basically unchanged from 2 weeks ago. Between $1 million and $1.25 million, it's barely out of a seller's market and into balanced territory. 2 weeks ago, it was barely a seller's market. Between $1.25 million and $1.5 million, it's moved from a balanced market into just barely a buyer's market. Above $1.5 million, it's a buyer's market. From $2 million to $4 million, expected marketing time jumped 40 days. And above $4 million, it's jumped by over 100 days. The higher you go up in price range, the stronger of a buyer's market it is. The bottom line, and this isn't really any surprise, is that the lower in price range you go, the more active the marketplace is. The sweet spot right now is really between $750,000 and $1 million. But even these numbers are across the county. So as I do every other week, let's take a look at a few cities. In Anaheim, right now it's at a 62-day expected time on market, a seller's market. It was 45 days 2 weeks ago and 51 days 2 weeks before that. A year ago, it was a 50-day expected marketing time. In Anaheim, sales are at 98.5% of their asking price. In Costa Mesa, it's barely a seller's market with 82 days expected market time, not much up from 84 2 weeks ago, but a little bit up from 69 days 4 weeks ago. A year ago, right now, expected time on market in Costa Mesa was at 70 days. And in Costa Mesa, homes right now are selling for 98.1% of their asking price. In Huntington Beach, it's a seller's market, ever so slightly stronger than Costa Mesa. 79 days expected market time right now, which is up a little bit from 72 days 2 weeks ago and 65 days 2 weeks before that, but quite a bit up from 48 days a year ago. Homes right now in Huntington Beach are selling at 98.5% of their asking price. In Irvine, it's a balanced market. Expected time on market right now in Irvine is at 97 days, which is up from 91 days 2 weeks ago, which was down from 109 days 2 weeks before that. All of this is significantly up from 61 days a year ago when it was definitely a seller's market. In Irvine right now, homes are selling at 97.6% of their asking price. In Newport Beach, it's a buyer's market. 164 days average market time right now. 2 weeks ago, it was at 184 days, but it was at 145 2 weeks before that. A year ago, 138 days expected market time in Newport Beach. Homes in Newport are selling for 95.8% of their asking price. And lastly, in the city of Orange, it's the strongest seller market of any of these cities that we're looking at. Right now in Orange, 57 days average expected market time, which is actually down from 63 days 2 weeks ago, and only 1 point up from 56 days 2 weeks before that. A year ago, however, time on market in Orange was at 41 days, a very strong seller's market. Even so, homes right now in Orange are selling for 99.7% of their asking price. Now, you may notice I put a couple of extra cities in there because somebody sent me a message asking me to put more in. So if you have a specific request for these marketplace update videos, please let me know. Also, I have this kind of data on every single city in the county. So if I didn't mention one of the cities that you're interested in, or you'd like a handful of cities, please contact me. Also, if you would like to talk about the strategies and systems that I use for helping people buy a home or sell a home, you can contact me. My number is 949-413-2371, or you can also email me, michael@housemgroup.com. Also, at the end of this video, you'll see there's a couple of different things that will come up on the screen that shows my educational videos for buyers and sellers, and also an opportunity to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much and have a great day. Who did this?